Hi, my name is Steve, and I've got high triglycerides. When's the last time you got an intro like that? Well, my name is Steve, and I've got high triglycerides, and my LDLs have never been that great either. And so I'm going on this adventure of eating right and trying to get things right again. My triglycerides usually around 4 to 500, and I did some reading after I went with my wife to the doctors, and I discovered my numbers aren't good. So I made a decision at that point, went to Chat GPT and put in all my numbers, and it came out with insulin resistance is what it suspected. And so it created a menu for me, and I went down that road. So join me if you will. I'm going to show you all the changes that I've made. They're not earth-shattering and probably stuff I should have been doing stuff a long time ago. But the funny thing is I never felt motivated from the doctors to change my eating habits. And but I did because I discovered that with high triglycerides, you run a chance of pancreatitis, and you get that, and you run a chance of being 6 feet under. I don't want that. If I look back in my old records, because they're all electronic now, anyway, I could look back to 219, 220. We're now December 2026, and my triglycerides have always been high, usually between 400 and 500. And they tell you, oh, that's a bad thing, that's a bad thing. So I've been working on trying to get those triglycerides down. So I started playing around with ChatGPT, and before you know it, I put in all my markers, everything that was real high, everything that was real low. And I said, so what do I have? And then it says, well, you have insulin resistance with a possible fatty liver. So so what do I do with this? How do I get my triglycerides down? Because triglycerides greatly affect the LDL and HDL. And so I said, how do I get this down? Well, let me develop a menu for you. And so I did that with ChatGPT, came up with a menu. And I said, okay, I don't like this food, I don't like this food, but I like this, I like this. And it went through, and I said, well, how about this and how about that? And so it's interesting. After going back and forth for a while, I come up with a menu that's doable, that's palatable. To me, everybody has different taste. I am called the Cookie Monster, and it's just, I thought that's who I was, and I was stuck with that. And I found out that if I change my eating habits, I don't have to be the Cookie Monster. So it's amazing. So stick with me in this adventure. It has started formally 1 week before Thanksgiving. Great time to start a new diet, a new way of eating, new way of life. But I stuck to it, and I was due with a doctor appointment and all the medical checkups that go with that, all the blood tests that go with that. And so we did the blood test, and it's interesting. Within a week and a half from when I started till I was scheduled for the blood test anyway. And like I said, for like the last 6 years, I've been hanging at 400 to 500, never dropped below. So I had no reason to suspect them any lower now. So no, I didn't get a blood test before I started this adventure. I had no reason to. But I'll tell you what, a week and a half into this adventure, I went from an average of 400 to 500 in my triglycerides down to 160 in a week and a half. Pretty significant. So we're going to go down the road, and I'm going to tell you everything I did. Perhaps you're in the same road. And so maybe I can help you along the way as well. Just take some self-discipline and knowing what you could do. And I certainly am not the all-knowledge person, and I have an element of self-discipline, but I'm not, I'm not a rock. I got my weak points. But within a week and a half, I got it down, and then working on bringing my LDL down from that. Not on statins, not on any kind of drug, nor any kind of assistance from anything over the counter or under the counter or anywhere else. So if you're in the same position, join me, and maybe together we can get somewhere together. and I'll be healthier. Alrighty. I will keep you posted on how I'm doing this.